how's the Irish culture? How are the people? How do they look at the Garda? Is it favorably? Has it changed over time? Give me an idea.
Yeah, I suppose I always took heart and was large, huge consolation from the fact that we had an 80% plus, 88% plus approval rating among the public, certainly when I was serving in Garda Síochána. I'm not sure what the figures are nowadays. I would imagine maybe not that high. And I suppose I can attribute that to globalization. Maybe we're following the American culture, the English culture. You know, we can see all of these riots and that taking place in London and Paris, and you know the yellow vests have arrived, and all of these other left wing and right wing groups have arrived. And you know, before when the Garda was when they made a complaint about the Garda, it was investigated and that. But nowadays it's so disheartening because that Garda's career is on hold while that complaint has been investigated. And we recently had a case where a Garda in COVID times gave a bicycle to a member of the community, an elderly member of the community, who had a problem with his knees. I mightn't be entirely correct with the problem he had, but he had ordered a bicycle, and with COVID, it wasn't arriving, and the Garda gave him a lend of a bicycle that was unclaimed at the back of the station, and he has spent a considerable amount of time suspended while this was being investigated. This was a bicycle that was being investigated over 3 or 4 years that, for the life of me, I can't understand why it took so long to investigate. I just don't understand why it took so long to investigate, and I can't answer why. But you can imagine in a community in Ireland where the Garda is, you know, at the centre of the community, and I would imagine, you know, he's thinking that there's a lot of people in the community saying, "Oh, there's no smoke without fire, and why is he suspended? And I notice he's not going to work in the mornings," or whatever. You know, it can be a small enough community at times. So we have that sort of culture creeping in where we have a lot more complaints made about in Garda Síochána. And I'm not saying the guards get it right all the time either.
Yeah.
But that's the way things are going.
But prior to this kind of change that you're mentioning, I've got to imagine, you correct me if I'm wrong, I've got to imagine that the reason why the Garda reputation was so high or provability was so high is you guys are doing community policing. You are in the community all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, when the guards call to your door or when the guards meet you on the street or whatever, it's not that they're armed and you know, straight away there's a conflict or confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the Garda training is community orientated. You're even down to how you stop a car, you know, that stop the car, say just an ordinary checkpoint here, good day, how are you? Just engage with them, with the public. And I had an old inspector at one stage, and he always said to me, "Son, do them with a smile," you know? So, I always thought that was a very, that was a good psychology. You know, it's not personal. It's somebody has minor breaches the law for traffic infringement or whatever. It's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about it if somebody has a really good excuse or whatever. Although those days are fast disappearing. You know, you let the judge decide.
Okay.
We used to have discretion, but I'm not so sure that it's so prevalent nowadays.